What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 679 of Community Universe Road and edition number 27 of Supremacy. Jumping right into the action as always. Pivotal time here in CMV, guys. These next couple of months going to be very exciting, but of course looking forward to this Sunday where the superstars of Crossfire will present their next brand exclusive pay-per-view event. Exodus, definitely don't want to miss that one. The announced card stacked from top to bottom, but of course looming is maybe not only the biggest match in CMV history, but perhaps the biggest match in wrestling history itself. That triple threat match for the CMV Undisputed Championship and the NGCW Undisputed Championship. Shay Hoxton, Jason Spade, and Chris Proudfoot going to make history in more ways than one in just a little over 2 weeks' time at DEF CON, as we see the international champion and self-proclaimed sole NGCW champion Shay Hoxton in action here against Joey Diaz of God's Chosen. But these two, of course, have a long history themselves before God's Chosen was even a thing, battling over the Anarchy Championship for much of the early parts of last season. Hoxton screwing Diaz over multiple times during that Anarchy Championship reign of his. Diaz, of course, was not alone, but now serving as a loyal follower for Chris Proudfoot. Hoxton trying to, well, shake off his loss last week to Strassi and build up some momentum ahead of that triple threat. Knee right to the face of the former Unified World Tag Team Champion. Goes for a super kick. I talked about this a little bit last week, but we saw the effects that the build to this match is having on Hoxton, Spade, and Proudfoot. It's almost to the point where they can't focus. All three men lost their respective matches last week because all they can think about, all they can, eat, sleep, breathe is this match and each other, waiting to get their hands on each other, waiting to see who of the three of them is truly the best and who will go down in the history books of CMV. So it'll be interesting to see because all three men are in action again here tonight. Jason Spade will be one-on-one with Ashley Amell later, and of course in our main event, Proudfoot going to meet the king of the ring, Brett Curtis. Can't wait for that one. Shay Hoxton, I'll say this much, you better be ready because I was alerted earlier tonight that Hoxton, right here next week on Supremacy, the final Supremacy before DEF CON and that triple threat match, he'll have to defend his international championship. He's still the international champion and he needs to defend it at least once every 30 days lest he be stripped of the title. And so Hoxton has to have his head in the game. The international championship still means a lot to him. Boom! No word yet as to who he will be defending it against. Maybe if Joey Diaz can knock him off here in this non-title one-on-one bout. Not so lucky right there, though. Threatens a punch. Goes for a cutter to Diaz. A lot of knees by Hoxton in this match, just trying to bash Diaz's face, and here comes the gambling man off the full mount. Look at those punches just getting through clean and crisp. A disrespectful slap on the way out as he again goes for that lateral press. Choke slam time. Diaz turning it into a complete shot. It may be a long time since these two last fought mano-a-mano, but Diaz still knows a lot of the tricks up Hoxton's sleeve. Big knee of his own. And Diaz just nearly taking out Shay Hoxton, who, this time in a couple of weeks could be just decked out in gold and be maybe the biggest superstar in CMV. Unrivaled in his glory, if you will. But look at Joey Diaz loving to take a risk. The hot commodity. The faithful follower with a plancha. Flipping Hoxton. Oh, but Hoxton able to teleport to his feet. trying to save himself, gets another bicycle super kick though, and the fans chanting, "This is awesome." First match of the night. Joey Diaz going in. Speaking of the Anarchy Championship, by the way, an announcement later on tonight regarding the Anarchy Championship and DEF CON. But first goes Diaz into the steel steps, but Hoxton isn't done at a count of 6 by referee Johnson. And Hoxton is going to look Diaz down with disgust in his eyes. Trio of kicks to the back of the knee, and into the steel steps now goes Shea Hoxton, a taste of his own medicine. Almost immediate comeuppance. Fireman's carry has Diaz down. Hoxton making sure to stay on top of him. This is really a must-win situation for Hoxton, especially after his loss last week to Shirasi and his championship defense next week. Back into the ring at the count of 12. This match is going to continue legally within the squared circle, and Diaz now showing off just a bit. Clothesline by the hot commodity. There's another one. Shea Hoxton trying to fight back with a kick, but gets sweeped. Pin attempt here by Diaz. Does he have Hoxton dead to rights? 1, 2. Just nearly does, man. Get closer and closer. Hoxton shoots to his feet, desperate now. He knows he's got to turn this thing around. Diaz going for a high knee. Hoxton with those lightning fast reflexes, able to duck down. Now Diaz just at Hoxton's mercy, position against those ropes. Hoxton going up top. Now this is a rare sight indeed. The gambling man with an elbow drop, but if I do say so myself, picture perfect. Might make HBK jealous. Oh, now look at this. Hoxton, the dirty heel, putting his feet on the middle rope. Referee Johnson doesn't see it and nearly was able to steal one from Diaz, but remains valiant. And Hoxton going to kiss that sweet ass of Joey Diaz goodbye. Maybe not. Elbow to the side of the head. Able to deflect another snapmare attempt. Snap German suplex by Diaz. Talk about Hoxton's reflexes. Diaz right up there with him. Another sweep after that stiff combination. And we've seen this before from Diaz. GTS off the gourd buster. Knee to the gullet. 1, 2, 3. And that is just about as close as one can come to a 3 count. Joey Diaz thought he had it in the bag, and so did I. But Shea Hoxton, like I said, he's got to win this match. His back's against the wall. He needs that momentum. He can't afford to look weak heading into DEF CON. Oh, slam back first, lower back first. Into the turnbuckle, and Hawk's going to try for another dirty pin. Yes, he is. Adamant to try and screw Diaz over here, but again, the leverage doesn't help Hoxton much. And in the end, Irish whip into the corner. Hoxton continuously trying to hit something here, but Joey Diaz doing a good job of defending himself. Another German. Oh, but Diaz taking a second. He thought he was safe. And Hoxton tipping up. Forearm smash, inverted atomic drop, and here comes the scoops. A very HBK-esque style from Hoxton here tonight. Oh, we've seen this before from Shea Hoxton. Just gonna punt Diaz right in the dome. 1, 2, 3, and Shea Hoxton taking out Joey Diaz with authority there at the end. No worries. I know I'm extremely I didn't expect anybody to even be here at all, but it do be like that sometimes. This is the only free time I've got. And wait a minute, Shea Hoxton. No. He wants to send a message. He knows that Jason Spade and Chris Proudfoot are watching. And Hoxton gonna beat down Joey Diaz, Proudfoot's faithful companion. And Proudfoot's busy preparing for Brett Curtis later on tonight. Typical Shea Hoxton. And coming up next, some more singles competition. As the total package, Reese Matthews is going to go one-on-one with Harry Wallace. And it was, of course, Reese Matthews who returned valiantly a few weeks ago with the win over Ashley Amell after being MIA since Ascendance, where, if you recall, he dressed up as a clown to defeat Marvelous Marvin in what may have been one of the most unique matches on that card. But Reese Matthews came back after defeating Ashley Amell and, well, gave the crowd a talking to, to say the least. And Reese Matthews made it clear that he's back for one thing and one thing only, and that's the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. He's done playing around. He's done being the butt of everyone's joke. And so he looks to continue his winning ways here tonight against Harry Wallace, who's had his own issues as of late with newcomers Austin Collins and Bryce Adams. See if Wallace can try and string together some more wins after breaking his very long losing streak at the top of the month with a win over Bryce Adams that Mr. Adams did not take too kindly to. Been making Wallace's life a bit of a living hell these last few weeks. Crack to the jaw, counters the Irish whip though. Matthews gonna send the vet into the corner and now walked across the top rope face first. Man, that could make you go blind. I don't think Reese Matthews really cares though. Harry Wallace, nothing but an obstacle. We saw what Reese Matthews did last episode, guys. Viciously attacking Brett Curtis after his grueling match with Misawa Kage. And Reese Matthews hasn't made it clear why he did that, but if one had to guess, Matthews sees Brett Curtis as his biggest threat en route for that undisputed World Heavyweight Championship match he oh so desires, with Brett Curtis recently winning the King of the Ring tournament and earning a shot at the championship. He's next in line. Matthews wants to take him out. Brett Curtis, of course, didn't go down fighting, ended up being a stalemate before they were broken up by security. Ooh, Harry Wallace running the train here. Splashing Matthews in the corner. We got a interesting gut buster. Not typical of the ones you would usually see, but effective nonetheless, so you can't really say all that much about it. Has a hold of the arm, does Reese Matthews. Oh, and an elbow to the shoulder. Now goes for a clothesline. Harry Wallace might be old, but that don't mean he's going to get caught off guard like that. And feeling good about himself right now, having Reese Matthews on the retreat. Face to face, Matthews with a cheeky punch. Going to stagger Wallace just long enough for Matthews to try and retake control. European uppercut, but Harry Wallace using that small but broad frame of his to mow Reese Matthews down. Brett's rope, elbow drop misses. Didn't really take his time to properly calculate that elbow drop, and ended up not turning out in his favor, but rebounding with the shoulder claw of doom. Reese Matthews, snapmare punch right to the side of the head. Knife edge chop. Man, did you hear that one? Echoing throughout the arena here on Supremacy episode 27. Irish whip, Wallace popping Matthews up. That big fucking toss. Ooh, and a cross body to the back of Reese Matthews. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Innovative offense by Wallace, but Reese Matthews tries to shut him down, only getting a 1 count there. Standing dropkick by the total package. Reese Matthews says he doesn't want to be known as a former undisputed World Heavyweight Champion anymore, but a future undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. May have hit a wall, though, in the form of Harry Wallace here tonight, giving him a fight. I mean, imagine if Wallace wins this match, defeating a former world champion. Nothing to sneeze at. turning Reese Matthews inside out. Look at that. Matthews again on the retreat, rolling to the outside as Wallace panders to the crowd. Harry Wallace knows what brought him to the dance, that thickness. And he has used it expertly against Reese in this match, just continuing to bombard him, rush him, not giving Matthews really much of a chance to think about his next move. Reese just going to return to the ring at the count of 4. He's like, nah, I'm not about that life. You want to fight, get in this here ring. Seeing Wallace begin to move, though, Reese Matthews changing up the game plan. Maybe that was a mistake. Power double tie, but Wallace going to easily overpower Reese Matthews. Punch to the midsection. Back into the ring now. Harry Wallace does things when he wants to, and not a second sooner, it would appear. Irish whip in the corner we go. Wallace approaching from behind, but didn't see that elbow coming. Heavy Irish whip. Reese Matthews seems to be on some sort of mission here at ringside. What that mission is, I'm not so sure. Oh, right back into the ring. Okay. I guess Reese Matthews doesn't really know himself what the next step is, but I believe the end may be near for Harry Wallace. What a back elbow. 1, 2. Certainly saw some spit go flying there. Harry Wallace on spaghetti legs and looking like he's in La La Land. Still going to give a fight. Not going down easily. Knows that he's been given an opportunity to shine against a big opponent like Reese Matthews. But there's a reason that the total package is a former world champion and looking to earn that accolade again. What a cutter. 1, 2, 3. Reese Matthews with another dub. Reese Matthews earns himself another strike in the win column. And if I'm Brett Curtis right now, I might be getting a bit worried that the total package has painted a target on my back, but that's what Brett Curtis has to expect as king of the ring. We'll see how he fares later on in our main event against Chris Proudfoot. Looking forward to that one. Excuse me. The show goes on. Up next as Jason Spade in action, preparing for the biggest match, not only his career, but in Hoxton's career and Proudfoot's career. Biggest match in CMV history, no doubt about it. We saw earlier tonight the show kicking off, Hoxton victorious over Joey Diaz and sent a message directly Spade's way with a post-match beatdown. One has to wonder how Spade is feeling, though, after being choked out by Jared Leon last week. The match had to be stopped by the referee. Leon was about to damn near kill Jason Spade, but I don't think anything is going to stop Jason Spade from making it to DEFCON. And that includes Ashley Amell here as well. And this is kind of like a sleeper. I feel like this has the potential to steal the show. We'll find out, though. I don't know if you guys can hear that lawnmower loud as hell outside my window. Hopefully not. Haven't seen Ashley Amell in action in a few weeks since his loss to Reese Matthews, as a matter of fact. And it's been a tough season for Ashley Amell ever since his partner was, well, permanently put on the shelf. Jacqueline Hendricks no longer able to compete, and so Amell forced into a singles career. Despite his best efforts, hasn't really been able to get going, build a real head full of steam. A couple of wins here and there, but nothing sufficient enough to really get him noticed and start, building towards something significant. But man, that could really change if he's to put away Jason Spade in this one. Actually, Mel's a smaller guy, but in the presence of Jason Spade, actually going to enjoy a rare size advantage, but that's usually the fact for Jason Spade in most of his matches. Never, though, will you see him letting his size dictate the match. He knows how to use what he's got to his advantage. That quickness, that agility, and that ingenuity. Rock bottom by Ashley Amell. Little stomp to the midsection afterwards, and vertical suplex. Amell, dare I say, has Jason Spade on the metaphorical ropes right now. Another rock bottom. Earth to Spade, there we go. Off his back, Spade lashing out with a kick to the temple, and just like that, that is how fast, snap of a finger, Jason Spade can turn things around for himself and just utterly alter the complexion of the match. Into the pin he goes, only a 1 count. Like I mentioned earlier, last week wasn't great for Hoxton, Spade, or Chris Profit. All three men losing their matches. And with DEF CON just a little over 2 weeks away, consider these tune-up matches. Jason Spade, much like Hoxton earlier against Diaz, in a position where he's got to win. 619. Oh, and then running in full steam ahead. Knee to the chest. 1, 2. As Ashley Amell was still recovering from the Tiger feint kick. Did not see Jason Spade speeding towards him like a bullet. Trip up, double boot stomp. Vintage Jason Spade. Oh, and hang on a minute. I think he's going to go for it. Can he lock it in? Yes, he can. Collar City clutch. Locked in by Jason Spade. Ashley Amell has got nowhere to go. But will he give up? Can he withstand the pain? He does. However, it looks like the damage may have been done. 1, 2. Ashley Amell not only able to make it through the Collar City clutch, but has enough left in the tank to kick out as well. Jason Spade not going to give him a pass, though. Continuing the attack without a moment's pause. Ooh! Shouts out to Antonio Baleska as Ashley Amell rolls the dice. Look at Amell, wants to bring that thunder from down under, baby. Amell's got to know an opportunity like this not going to come his way very often with a record like his. I mean, Jason Spade this time in a couple of weeks could be not only the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, but the NGCW Undisputed Champion. If Amell beats him here, that can change the course of his career. Sweet elbow off the ropes with Amell, man. A few seconds away from the biggest win during his time in CMV. Just throwing Jason Spade out of the ring. Now, I don't know about the strategy here. Ashley Amell been disrespectful. Jason Spade not going to take that. Lying down. Knee to the bridge of the nose, and now it's Spade. Locked and loaded. Ashley Amell popping back up to his feet after a stomp to the chest. Back and forth. These two go now strike for strike. Jason Spade says enough is enough. Back into the ring we go, and from behind, Ashley Amell gonna get caught. Hurricane Rana grabbing the feet. About a millisecond away from taking Ashley Amell down. Jason Spain now has gotten to the point in the match where he does not give a flying F anymore. That brutality beginning to show. Those knees straight to the side of the head. Targeting the dome now. Snapmare, just pinpoint accuracy. Not again. Middle of the ring. Collar City clutch. Surely Ashley Amell won't be able to make it through. Another one. There we go. The tap. And Jason Spade with an impressive victory over Ashley Amell here on Supremacy number 27. Ashley Amell, I'll say this much, credit where credit is due, giving Jason Spade much more of a fight than I think I would have given credit for. Surviving a Collar City clutch, no easy feat. Multiple times in this match had Jason Spade looking rough, but at the end of the day, the Outlaw claiming the dub for himself and looking very good in doing so. I thought it might have been over right here after this Hurricane Rana. How close it was. Referee's hand coming down for the 3. A second Collar City clutch and Jason Spade standing tall. Both Spade and Hodgson victorious here tonight. Now it's up to Proudfoot in the main event. Show continues up next, guys, as Joe Dirt of the Kingdom gonna go one-on-one with Killian Red. The European champion George King surely not going to be too far. Lately been butting heads with Killian Red. Of course, it was Killian Red who defeated George King in the opening rounds of the King of the Ring tournament at Cause and Effect, but George King got his back last episode by defeating the Louisianimal one-on-one in a non-title confrontation, and Killian Red wants his European Championship back. And we are going to get that tiebreaker at DEF CON in a little over 2 weeks' time. But George King also announced to us, as well as his Knights, that he was able to get them a shot at the Unified World Tag Team titles, and what may be Max Ryder's last time to prove his loyalty to George King after the multiple incidents these last couple of weeks. So the Kingdom will challenge Quantum and Question Mark. We know that Bob Luger going to be busy handling Mr. Slate at DEF CON, but Bob Luger has assured his former tag team partner that he will find a suitable replacement. And it looks like he's only got a little over a week to do so, a week and change if he hasn't already. George King going to have his own problems to worry about. And Killian Red, 1-1. And that tie will be broken in a final confrontation at DEF CON for the European Championship. Right now, Joe Dirt going to try to soften up Red as much as he can for King. Where's Max Ryder? The tension has been building these last couple of weeks, man, ever since George King unceremoniously dethroned his Knight as European champion on the cause and effect kickoff. And we saw Max Ryder not take that with a pinch of salt when he attempted to attack George King last episode of Supremacy. Didn't really go his way though, now did it? George King told Max Ryder, this is your last chance. You work with Joe Dirt, you capture those tag team titles at DEF CON, and really what use are you to me? Max Ryder though, starting to rebel. George King doing his damnedest to keep him in line. Killian Red getting into that powerbomb kind of mood. One. Oh, only a one count though. Killian Red grabbing Dirt by the hair. Lifting him up. You know how bad that's gotta hurt? Just be hoisted by your hair. Torture acquisition. Drop down to the mat with a thud. Doesn't get much more simplistic than that. STO had some serious fire behind it. Joe Dirt, as far as we can tell, still a loyal soldier as he looks to do King's bidding here tonight. Oh, look at that, using the ropes. There's an added assistance with that powerbomb. Will Killian Red be defeated at his own game? No. Hammer strike by Killian, leaving Joe Dirt exposed enough to pull off that gut wrench powerbomb. Shimmies into the pin. And all that's waiting for him is a one count. Louisianimal. Eyes in the back of his head, sees Dirt coming, snapmare kick to the middle of the back. That's going to send shooting pains up and down your spine. Here comes Red. Combination, just throwing out those ham bones. Another gut wrench suplex. This time Killian Red not satisfied though. Powerbomb. Yet again, oh man, last ride powerbomb to be accurate, and still the 3 count, eluding the former European champion. Joe Dirt set into the corner. Oh, we've seen this before from Killian Red. The 2 other members of the Kingdom have somehow been able to survive this. Max Ryder and George King have kicked out. Well, I don't know if Joe Dirt's going to be so fortunate. 1, 2, 3. Killian Red off the top rope powerbomb. Bulldozing his way to a win over Joe Dirt. As George King watched from ringside, seeming unimpressed. What is this? Joe Dirt, hang on a minute. Killian Red just offered his hand to Joe Dirt, and Joe Dirt accepted. What could this mean? Is Joe Dirt rebelling as well now? Hang on. Is Killian Red staging a coup against the King? King Killian? More questions than answers after the ending to that match, guys. But up next, tag team competition on Supremacy. Episode 27 as we see Anarchy champion Brian Jacobson team up with the GOAT of CMV, Adam Valentine, and of course Jacobson's new bodyguard, the Big Show, taking on the team of Gary Reed and Jay Young. Now we know that Jay Young last week sent out a tweet making it clear that he was looking for a tag team partner, wanted to dip his toes back into the tag team scene and maybe reclaim those tag team titles that he was forced to vacate at the top of the season with his former partner Johnny Respawn kind of vanishing off the face of the earth, and maybe testing the waters with Gary Reed, who himself is a former tag team champion as well, guys. But I talked earlier in the show about how there was an announcement regarding the Anarchy Championship and DEF CON, guys, and that announcement is that Brian Jacobson is going to have his hands full because the Anarchy Champion, it has been announced, he will defend his title against not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 other Supremacy superstars in what has been called a DEF CON match. So that's right, Brian Jacobson's championship reign gonna be in serious jeopardy as he defends in a DEF CON match against 7 other superstars, 3 of which are the men he shares the ring with tonight. Adam Valentine, Gary Reed, and Jay Young confirmed as 3 of those 7 challengers. Well, it was Jay Young who last week pulled off the massive upset, defeating Brian Jacobson one-on-one after both men had a rough go of it in the King of the Ring tournament, though Brian Jacobson apparently purposefully, as Big Show ran down to the ring, we'll remember, and cost him the match. But Jacobson seemed to have that up his sleeve the whole time. Brian Jacobson circling around, going to make the tag to Adam Valentine, who only returned at the top of the month, but since his return has been incredibly... Oh, stop to the foot! Gary Reed with a creative escape out of the waistlock there. As I was saying, Adam Valentine been looking phenomenal in his last couple of outings, unbeaten since coming back. And, well, he's chased that Anarchy Championship for a couple of years now. Maybe DEF CON will finally be his chance to hold it in his own 2 hands. Swinging neckbreaker by Adam Valentine. How quickly he gets right back on top of Gary Reed, though, launching him into the corner. I don't know how much help Big Show will be come DEF CON for that. Oh, Gary Reed taking a moment to knock Brian Jacobson off the apron, but in doing so, leaving himself open. Adam Valentine able to take back control. The rules of the DEF CON match, as explained to me, I had to ask them a couple of times to explain a bit slower, but apparently all 8 men will be active at the same time in the ring, and there will be a timer, essentially working like the old school championship scramble, if you will, in a sense, as at the end of the time limit, whoever has the most pinfalls will be the official Anarchy champion. Swinging neckbreaker for the top rope by Adam Valentine. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be chaotic. No disqualifications, no countouts, as it is for the Anarchy Championship. Those 8 superstars, no doubt, going to be in for a rough night, all in the name of leaving as the Anarchy Champion. Brian Jacobs will be able to defy those odds. I don't know what exactly his odds are of retaining in that match. They've got to be like 10% or below. Paragon of Virtue, though, if there is a way, he will find it. As that old saying goes, if there's a will, there's a way. Sweeped off the apron. So far, the team of Brian Jacobson and Adam Valentine working well enough that they've been able to keep a lid on Reed and Young. And Young hasn't even been tagged for the match yet. Gary Reed catching a beating. There's a hot tag. Here comes Jacobson. Walks right into a Michinoku driver by Gary Reed. The Dragon. Kind of been lost these last few months with the departure of his best friend and tag team partner Walter Bollet. Unable to find his footing, but the former tag team champion, maybe Defton, will be where he can carve out that path for himself. Oh, Jay Young tagging himself in before Brian Jacobson takes out Gary Reed, collar and elbow tie up. And these two picking up where they left off last week. Drop kick to the chest. Down goes Young. Jacobson embarrassed by the TV Dream last week. Even with the assistance of Big Show, Jay Young was able to irk out that victory. Oh. Getting some dental work done, BJ? For free. Punch to the pec. Jay Young gets a forearm smash right above the eyebrow, and there's that spine buster. Unmatched. You ain't gonna find a better spine buster on the face of this earth. But still, it's not enough. Brian Jacobson caressing his bald head in contemplation. He's a Michinoku driver of his own. I've never really taken the time since this season started to really admire the sheer boldness of Brian Jacobson. It was definitely a bold choice, but I'd say he pulls it off. There's a single underhook DDT. I think his choice of hairstyle, though, is the last thing on his mind. Might be nothing on his mind right now, though, as his head was just drilled into the canvas. Kicks out at one, the Anarchy champion. Cracked in the jaw, Jacobson now sent into the corner. Nice reversal of fortune. Gets an elbow and a kitchen sink before he could even react. And now it's Adam Valentine extending his head. Jacobson in no sort of position right now, though, to comply with said request. Look at reverse DDT. Jay Young just non-stop. Calf kick. Anarchy champion just unable to keep up with the TV Dream. However, Gary Reed, man, looking like a hot mess there in the apron. And Jay Young, I think, wanted to make a tag, but then second-guessed himself, seeing the current state of the Dragon. Maybe Gary Reed, not the tag team partner Jay Young is looking for, but for tonight, they're all the other has got. Looking to build momentum heading into DEF CON. Sent down to the canvas. Jay Young, moonsault, baby. Straightforward, done to perfection. Jay Young turns his back, though, and Jacobson makes the tag. Adam Valentine, a former tag team champion in his own right. In his many years here in CMV, though, and multiple opportunities, has never been able to capture a singles championship. Adam Valentine, upon his return, said he's waited long enough. And that Anarchy Championship will find a new home around his waist come DEF CON. Elbow on the side of the head, tries to go for a spinning heel kick, but Jay Young catches him on the turnaround with a single underhook DDT. Hooks the leg, Big Show checking on Brian Jacobson. This one might be over. It is! Jay Young secures the bag for he and Gary Reed, getting Jacobson's number again. Jay Young, if I dare to say so, started to build himself a hot little streak. Might be an early pick for all you bettors out there. Might want to slide your chips into the corner at the TV Dream. Will he rise above his 7 other opponents at DEF CON become Anarchy champion. We know that anything can happen in CMV, and especially in a match like that. I don't know. I mean, they got the win, obviously, but will these two be able to form any sort of long-lasting relationship, knowing that they'll be opponents come DEF CON? We'll have to wait and see. For tonight, at least, they celebrate a hard-fought win. Well, guys, Bloody Justice made a decision on the last episode of Supremacy, a decision not to attack his own family, his brother-in-law, Jared Leon, at the behest of Xander Slade. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on one second. You gotta love it when you get that sneezing fit. Excuse me, sorry about that. As I was saying, Bloody Justice, at the behest of our former illustrious general manager of Supremacy, was tasked with taking out his own brother-in-law, his family, Jared Leon, after their failure to defend the Unified World Tag Team titles and get rid, once and for all, of Quantum and Bob Luger at Cause and Effect. But Bloody Justice refused to. However, that was the wrong decision, as Jared Leon had no qualms in doing so to Bloody Justice, fully going corporate and turning on his family. Bloody Justice, now cast out on his own last week, made the challenge to Jared Leon for the first ever I Quit match in CMV history. Jared Leon accepting it, goes down at DEF CON, but Bloody Justice went a step further, challenging Tailcoat Val to send one of her disciples here for this Bloody Justice Invitational. The last one of these we saw, well, it was a doozy, a Match of the Year candidate. Bloody Justice and Killian Red back at Shake Up, so Tailcoat Val selecting her number one, Subject Zero. Bloody Justice, a lot of emotions running through that mind of his right now, I'm sure, and there's already so much going on inside of the head of Bloody Justice that we need not even talk about. Nightmarish things, but I mean, everyone can relate to, you know, your family turning on you, and maybe not your family, but we've all been there when someone we thought we could trust ended up lashing out and doing what was best for them. Bloody Justice certainly never thought it would be his own brother-in-law, you know, the husband of his sister. But Jared Leon, I think his mind has been completely warped and taken over by Tailcoat Val. I don't even know if Jared Leon in the first place was fully human, but now definitely has just become a husk to be manipulated by Tailcoat Val. Bloody Justice, most of his career, you know, has had someone by his side. You look back to Blood and Stone, and then of course the Undead with Damien, and more recently these last few months with Mr. Slate Tailcoat Val, their unholy union. Bloody Justice, really for kind of the first time ever, finds himself all alone, and he is He is jumping right into the fight, calling out Jared Leon for an I Quit match, calling out Val for this Bloody Justice Invitational here. I wonder if we'll see any more of those unique weapons utilized. Oh, speak of the devil, Bloody Justice. What's he gonna pull out? What the hell is that? What is that? An unlit torch? What the hell? Holy shit! Dude, Subject Zero just got whacked in the back with a torch. And he acted as if it was a little gnat buzzing around. Just ripped that thing right out of BJ's hand like, bitch, what? What did you just do? Truly, truly not of this earth is Subject Zero. Monster of another kind, man. Bloody Justice, though. No disqualifications, using those ropes for leverage. What's he doing now? Subject Zero starting to get up. He's getting bowed down with that knee, only securing a 1 count, though. I don't know if Bloody Justice, who's still recuperating from the attacks last week he suffered at the hands of Jared Leon, is going to make it to DEFCON for their I Quit match. Subject Zero can do anything and everything he wants to, as per the rules of this match. And when you see a man Subject Zero size leave his feet like that for a dropkick, you just realize, Jesus Christ, this is a man that I never ever want to cross paths with. Well, finally, Subject Zero taking some effective hits off that torch. 1, 2. I wonder if that torch was lit before. It could still be hot. The embers burning. Could be talking some 3rd-degree burns by the time this match is over. Bicycle super kick by Subject Zero down into the pin. Hook in the leg. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. Zero now has got that look in his eyes. That almost empty, cold feeling where you know he's about to do something sinister. Bloody Justice not going to give him the chance, though. Enzu Lariat shoots the half, flipping over that 300-plus pounder. As he might, yes he does. Subject Zero falls. Bloody Justice. Big dubs here. And that's got to make Tailcoat Val furious. Subject Zero failing to eliminate Bloody Justice. We didn't get to see the big bone sword or the Book of the Dead, but we did get an unlit torch, which has got to be up there for unique weapons used in a wrestling match. Bloody Justice with the Enzu Lariat. Stiff shot to the back of the head. Bloody Justice. Maybe scarier than ever now that he's untamed, off the leash, on his own. Terrifying. Oh my god. Oh my god, what is happening? I can't see anything, guys. What the hell? Jesus Christ. No need to give all the kids nightmares. Bloody Justice. I didn't think I'd ever be saying this, may have fully lost it. And after that horrifying visual, into our co-main event we go, guys. The debut here on Supremacy of Hardcore English. Brad Anderson and Alex Young, straight out of the UK, a couple of rough, tough lads, looking to show us what they're worth as they take on the Carter clan and Deck and Brooke Jr. Definitely excited to see some new teams emerging within the division. Hardcore English, from what little I have heard of them, not going to come out here for any sort of old school wrestling match. Not looking to expect a classic out of these two. But rather coming to ruin the day of the Carter clan with some fists. It's going to be Alex Young starting things off here against Deck. Tries to go for a vertical suplex straight out of the gate, but gets a double axe handle instead, and now a full mount. There's actually very different styles from these two teams, because quite the opposite. The Carter clan, both former wrestlers in college and high school, right out of their own gym where they practice all sorts of MMA. And if this fight gets taken to the ground, I don't know if Hardcore English is going to be able to keep up. But I guess we'll see. Grinding the elbow right across Deck's face. Now boot scraping the forehead as it comes off the ropes. Building towards that boot. Trying to take Deck's head clean off, it would look like. Here's what I'm talking about. Just the ruggedness. Elbows right to the side of the head, and I think that protective wrestling gear might help Deck out a bit, but not enough. Brainbuster, harsh landing. Alex Young goes for the cover. One. That's all he's going to get. I walked by Hardcore English earlier tonight, backstage before the show had started. I said, "Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to Supremacy. Excited to see what you guys are all about later." And of course, I was eating my oatmeal, as I do. And you wouldn't believe it, they both simultaneously spit into my oatmeal. I think that's all I really needed to know about these two. I'm planning on staying far away from Hardcore English from here on out. That's what you get for trying to be a nice guy, Deck rolling up to his feet. Alex Young trying to close that distance, but walks into a snapmare soccer ball kick. Now a hook to the leg, but not enough, not even close for this one to be wrapped up in a neat bow for the Carter clan. Running power slam by Deck, and another cover attempt here. One. Can't get past one. That two, the elusive two for Deck. Still to come, guys, here on Supremacy episode 27, our main event. The CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot taking on the King of the Ring, Brett Curtis. I cannot wait. Double tag. In comes Brad Anderson and Brooke Carter Jr. Oh, Brett using the shiny dome of his as a weapon. Brad is going to be the older of he and Alex Young, straight off the streets of England. Just as soon will pull out a knife on you, demand all the money in your pockets, and shake your hand. Boom! Nice running senton after the single knee gutbuster. As a matter of fact, I think I heard a story once, Hardcore English robbed Mr. Nash-tastic. Old cop pulled out a knife on him while he was working at the petrol station. Took all of his newspaper. Tagged to Alex Young. Back into the fight after recuperating on the outside. Kick to the midsection, caught. Clothesline. We have seen throughout this match when the Carter clan are able to get going, use those wrestling skills of theirs to outmatch Hardcore English. They've had the upper hand, but every time it turns to fists and kicks. Not really able to keep their head above the water. Hardcore English have got that advantage. Shin breaker into a back suplex. 2 for the price of 1. Hooks the leg, does Young. 1. Hands on top of his head, but better turn around. Brooke Carter Jr. waiting for a kick. Alex Young was ready for it. German suplex. Making him pay for even daring to think of such an action. Stepping on the hand. Oh! God! Right down onto the bicep, guys. And Brooke Jr. going to be lucky if he doesn't have a broken arm right now. Seems as though he's in the clear. I think this match probably would be stopped if that was the case. Nice block of the discus knife edge chop, by the way. Got up those hands with the quickness. So, hey, what the hell is Deck doing? Brooke Carter Jr. wanted to make a tag, but Deck jumped off the apron. Apparently, he's not too thrilled with the way this match has been going. Doesn't want to get tagged back in, leaving it up to Brooke for the time being. Maybe wanted to nurse his wounds just a bit longer. And now he's back on the apron. Now the tag, okay, I guess on his own time. Deck. Not working on anybody else's schedule but his own. Spine buster by the big man. Alex Young could be in trouble. 1, 2, and Brett Anderson knows it. Breaking up the pin before this match ends abruptly. Spear now! Chopping Young in half. 1, 2, 3! The Carter clan victorious here over Hardcore English. Brad Anderson and Alex Young brought a fight. There's no doubt about that, but the Carter clan just able to outmaneuver the Brawlers and use their superior skills as athletes to take home the Uno, the Dos, the Trace, the win. There was the spine buster. Probably would have been over right there if not for Brad Anderson breaking up the pin, but then the spear did it. Anderson not quick enough to make the save a second time. This is a great win for the Carter clan after a moment of miscommunication. Game probably going to crash here. It usually always crashes on the main event. I'm just preparing for it. And I forgot to exit back to the menu because I figured out a little bit of a trick that if before the main event you exit back and then play it, it's usually okay, but I just forgot. So prepare for a crash. It'll be a modern day miracle if this goes out with that hitch. I'm just gonna wait and see because I'm not gonna get into my commentary mode and then get cut off unceremoniously as per the usual by this game. Maybe we'll do some ASMR while we wait. Hey, there goes. Knew it. Knew that was gonna happen. Not even gonna bother restarting the stream though. Unless, of course, it reset the matches as it likes to do, because it really just likes taking the knife and twisting it around once it's already stabbed you. This game just can't handle the straight fire that Brett Curtis brings to the table. It is a player hater trying to player hate on Brett Curtis. It'll be alright. My money right. I bet that's your favorite song, Brett. Alright. Let's put our hands together and hope and pray this didn't reset the fucking matches. It should be okay. It usually only resets tag team matches for some reason, so it should be alright. But we'll see. We'll see soon enough. Let us see. Hey. Nice. Well, the song is inaudible for the most part, so. Alright, at least we know who won these matches, so we can give the proper momentum out. Hoxton. Little recap for anybody who may have skipped the earlier parts too. Here you go. Hoxton Juan. Then we had Reese Matthews Quinn. Then we had Jason Spade. Victorious. Man, that bowl cut is something else. Killian Red. With the dub. Okay, that wasn't a thing, but I guess Austin Collins had a dark promo. As did George King, apparently. Whatever they had to say, it wasn't important enough, I guess, for us to see. Jay Young had a promo. Okay. He came back out after the tag team victory, had something to say. That's probably true, Rifted. I don't doubt it. But here we go. Finally back to where we were. Main event time for Supremacy number 27. And let's hope it doesn't crash again. Usually it's okay on the restart. Oh boy. If we do get to see this match, though, in for a treat, the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot one-on-one with the King of the Ring, Brett Curtis, who has secured himself a future shot at the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. We know his shot at the title will take place at Validation next month, but who will he be challenging? And that's the question. The biggest match in CMV history goes down at DEF CON. Shay Hoxton, Jason Spade, and Chris Proudfoot for not only the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, but the NGCW Undisputed Championship as well. But perhaps a look into what could be should Proudfoot be able to retain at DEF CON. One way or another, this is a great test for Brett Curtis, who has now broken through the glass ceiling, reached the upper echelon. He's towards the top of the mountain. He's got to start taking on these higher caliber opponents. And Brett Curtis going to be wading the waters against God's chosen warrior here in our main event. You know, I talked about it earlier tonight in terms of Shay Hoxton having to defend his international championship next week. How much is on the mind of these three superstars? We've seen it, a couple of times, especially last week. It throw them off their game as all three men lost their respective matches. So Chris Proudfoot right here, he's got to be focused because Brett Curtis is no pushover. He is the king of the ring. He is next in line for a shot at that championship that Proudfoot wears around his waist. Both Hoxton and Spade were victorious in their outings earlier in the show. Well, Proudfoot joined them in victory. Quickly becoming one of the longest reigning CMV Undisputed Champions in history. Held that title since Ascendance, where of course he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. He won on night one, dethroning PJ Moon, who only held the title for a few precious seconds. And ever since then, Proudfoot's had an iron grip on that championship. Refused to let it go. He's going to face his toughest challenge yet, though. Not only as world champion, but period in his career at DEF CON. Will he have God on his side? Will glory once again shine down upon him? Or will he be left on his own? There's a man who doesn't really care about any of that business. He's only focused on one thing, and that's his shot at the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Only has to wait a month more. Validation is the destination for Brett Curtis. The NGW alumni, former tag team champion, has spent years scratching, crawling up the mountain, and at cause and effect, bested 7 other men to become the king of the ring. And now he's got his shot. He's got his opportunity, his chance to become world champion. There's still doubters out there, though, in the verse, saying Curtis got lucky and he's not good enough to hang with the best of the best, like Chris Proudfoot. But I don't know how you can look at his match last week with the Sawakage and then the brawl afterwards with Reese Matthews and not see this man and his potential to be the face that runs the place. But if there are any remaining murmurs out there, Bret Curtis is looking to quiet them down here. If he could beat Chris Proudfoot non-title, that really says all that needs to be said. Proudfoot, Curtis, 1-on-1. Let's shake a leg and get it on. Power double tie-up. Middle of the ring. There's got to be, though, even if he doesn't show it, butterflies for Bret Curtis. Here he is in the main event. Here he is against the world champion. And here are all these eyes on him. All these haters who only want to see him fail. And out of the ring he goes. Very symbolic. Because you know, Proudfoot doesn't consider anyone on the same level as he. Doesn't consider anyone worthy enough to share the ring with him. Only God's light. So knocking Curtis out of the ring. Oh, look at that, though. The King catching Proudfoot in a power slam, using his own momentum against him. Already at the count of 5 as Bret Curtis says, you want to fight? You want to tussle, I got you. There's the throat cut. Curtis basically saying, hey, you want it to go down like that, I've got no qualms.
9.
Count of 9 now. Again, into the steel steps. Bret Curtis rethinking, or rather Chris Proudfoot rethinking taking this fight to the outside because it has not really paid off for him. There's a clothesline with a roll through. Proudfoot, arm raised high. Curtis trying to get to his feet quickly. This is the draw kick. Does the world champion. 14 count now.
15.
What is the strategy? Is Proudfoot going to take this fight back into the ring? Bret Curtis is. I think Proudfoot was looking to maybe win this match by countout, conserve his energy for DEF CON, but Curtis was like, you're not taking this away from me. Like these forearm smashes, jeez, like a wild animal. Curtis just pummeling Proudfoot. Snapmare by the specialist. Oh, and a knee to the chest. There's another. One more for you. Oh, there's the last one coming. Didn't see that. Chest of Chris Proudfoot getting lit up at the 4th of July. And it ain't over yet. Open palm strike to the pecs. Jesus, hook to the jaw. Proudfoot has to snap back to reality. Clothesline out of the ring again. And Proudfoot saying, come on, boy. Get back in this ring if you got what it takes. How you think it can hang? With me, the world champion, the king of the mountain, my mountain. Kick to the midsection. The steel steps continuing to be utilized expertly by the king of the ring. Down alongside the ringside area, Bret Curtis just throwing Proudfoot all over the goddamn place. The count of 6 going to break the count for himself, and now back out. Curtis definitely doesn't want this match ending by count out. Oh, pop up. Hurricane Rana. I think I heard the splat of Proudfoot's back off those mats. Yeah, but this is really a match that Bret Curtis would rather win by pinfall or submission, so that there can be no arguing from the fans or anyone in the back, Proudfoot himself included, that it was an upset, that it was a fluke. What the hell is this? Bret Curtis has got Proudfoot's legs all tied up and pulling back on the nostrils, man. That's just That's just mean. Those are bully tactics. And stomp to the lower back was just the cherry on top, I guess. BFT. Hey, shades of Reese Matthews, by the way. Brett Curtis sending some subliminal shots at the total package. Proudfoot standing tall over Brett Curtis. I don't know if Proudfoot is entirely taking Curtis seriously. Clothesline, and again, off the ropes, calf kick. Curtis won't stay down, but has no choice. And here's the side effect from the world champion. Will that be enough? 1, 2. No, it will not. Curtis putting his resiliency on display, but up to the top rope goes Chris Proudfoot. Elbow drop till he got him in the gut. He got him in the gut with that. Curtis, though, fighting. Catchphrase off the forearm smash. Hooks the leg. Attempting to quickly catch Proudfoot slipping. Face to face, middle of the ring. Proudfoot takes his shot, but Curtis a bit quicker. On the apron, fires off a forearm smash, springboard drop kick, and Curtis just turned inside out, landing on his neck. And there's God's arrow right to the mush. 1, 2. What? Brett Curtis Kingley and his refusal to stay down. What a heart. Here comes Proudfoot again. One time too many. Goes for the elbow drop a second time and he missed. And now Brett Curtis, wait a minute. The king, off the shoulders. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Brett Curtis has just pinned Chris Proudfoot clean. What a win for Brett Curtis. And I don't want to hear nothing from nobody in that crowd. Hey, wait a minute. Chris Proudfoot back to his feet. Brett Curtis appreciates the fight. Hey, there's no beef here. A good match, and Proudfoot with a rare showing of sportsmanship and perhaps humility, although we have seen Proudfoot do this before, and when he has, he was looking to recruit for God's shows. He did the same thing to Braxton Sutter, did the same thing to Joey Diaz. And Proudfoot, man, he's like a whisper. He gets in the back of your head. He tells you all these lies. Brett Curtis, he's got to be on his toes. Don't fall for it.